Alright, so in this video I'm going to talk about the 7 types of chatbots that you can build using Zoho SalesIQ. Now if you are not familiar with it, Zoho recently introduced the version 2 of their SalesIQ live chat platform, and it comes with some substantial improvements. So the first type of chatbot you can build is the answer bot. The answer bot is actually a very simple FAQ chatbot, and I even have a live demo on my site. And you just define a set of questions and provide a response, and also associate it with some existing articles. And based on the user's question, the bot will try to provide either an answer or the associated articles, or maybe both. And when you think about it, that's a little bit like combining the knowledge based feature in Dialogflow with adding your custom intents, which is, of course, that's not something which you can actually do in Dialogflow, right? So the answer bot is very good in that way, but I would say that the actual NLU, the natural language understanding, is not really as advanced as Dialogflow. Okay, so the second type of the bot builder is the codeless bot builder, and this is actually a visual flow chart for scripted bots. You will find that it's similar to something like Chatfuel. And the codeless bot builder is, I say that it's actually very easy to use, and it's probably very good for building simple scripted bots. I was able to use this builder and create a lead generation style chatbot to my website in just a few minutes actually. And I also have a demo of that. You can interact with that on my website too. The thing is that it does not have any natural language understanding features. You cannot parse the user's words with the codeless bot builder. So you can use it if you're creating a scripted bot, and not if you're trying to understand what the user is actually saying. Now, SalesIQ script is the third type of bot, and this is based on the Zoho's custom scripting language. They call it Deluge, and I will say that this language is not probably, I would not say that it will go on anyone's favorite language list, because it's very quirky kind of language. And the good thing about this Deluge programming language is that it allows you to create glue code and make a lot of automations, build automations inside your Zoho account, so that you can achieve a lot of tasks automatically. And the SalesIQ script itself is, under the hood, it uses this Deluge scripting language. And the important limitation is that it requires you to be an expert in the language, the Deluge language itself. Otherwise, it's not even worth using this SalesIQ script. And also, this is sort of like the version 1, so this is the older type of bot. So I don't really recommend using the SalesIQ script unless you already have a legacy Deluge system and you just want to integrate your bot into that. Now, the fourth type is Zia Skills. Zia is Zoho's intelligent assistant. I think Zia actually stands for Zoho Intelligent Assistant. And this is a very interesting option in the sense that it allows you to combine an FAQ bot with a scripted type of chatbot, okay, where you can perform an action, you can perform an operation, or you can answer a question. That's how you define these actions. The thing is, it's not really, it doesn't come together very nicely. That is, the UI is not super intuitive, and you have to use some Deluge in the middle of your bot to handle context and things like that. And on the whole, I'll say that maybe the Zia Skills was, I guess it was an improvement over the SalesIQ script, but it was still not really quite where it should be for people to be able to build the type of bots that you usually see. And also, both SalesIQ script and Zia Skills are, effectively they are legacy tools from the first version of SalesIQ. And I think that you should probably avoid this both SalesIQ script and Zia Skills in 2021 and moving forward. Okay, so the fifth type of Zoho chatbot you can build is where you integrate it with Dialogflow ES. Now, it doesn't mention ES here in the Zoho's one-click integration, But this is actually, it's possible for you to just click a button and connect your Dialogflow ES chatbot with your Zoho chat widget. It's not possible to do that with Dialogflow CX. Okay, so it's only possible to do that with the ES edition, but they don't mention explicitly that this is the ES edition, but that's what it is. Okay, and I consider this Dialogflow integration and Azure integration and Watson integration, all of them as the same type of bot, in the sense that they are all one-click integrations with existing chatbot frameworks. Now, you know that I'm a big fan of Dialogflow, so I'm not going to go over this in too much detail, but I will point out that of all the different types of chatbots you can build, I would say that Dialogflow ES is probably the most versatile, and also it probably gives you I think it's the best combination of something which is user friendly even for non-programmers, and very powerful, and has extremely good NLU. And also you get all the goodies that you get from a live chat software, like, that is, if you had to build an integration with the Zoho SalesIQ and Dialogflow ES, you also get the features that you get with typical live chat software. And this is notable. I'll just spend a minute on this because when you use the Dialogflow Messenger integration, for example, right, you might have noticed that the conversation does not even persist across multiple pages on your website. That is, if you go to a different page, it has already lost the previous conversation, right? So and there are a lot of other things which are, you can't forward it to an operator. It's not really possible for the operator to talk to your website visitor if they are on the chat widget in the Dialogflow Messenger. You may be able to move them over to some other platform altogether, but you can't do that inside the chat widget, right? And then you can't send attachments, and so there are things where if you have a live chat system and integrate that with Dialogflow, the things that you can actually do is just that much more when compared to using a simple Dialogflow Messenger integration. Now, of course, Dialogflow Messenger integration is free, where the Zoho SalesIQ, depending on the subscription that you get, it could be, there is a monthly fee for the Zoho SalesIQ. You don't get it for free. But if you were to go for a paid software for your website chatbot, you have to definitely take a look at Zoho. That's the way I would look at it. Okay, so that's the fifth type. The sixth type of Zoho SalesIQ chatbot is where you integrate the Zobot with Webhook. By the way, the Zoho SalesIQ chatbots are all called Zobots. I don't think I mentioned that till now. And using a webhook, you can integrate it with any chatbot framework of your choice. And of course, that will come handy, for example, if you don't have a built-in integration. And a good example of that is Dialogflow CX, which is somewhat new. And Zoho hasn't really built a integration with Dialogflow CX as of this recording, which is happening in June of 2021. And this is something you can do. That is, you can create your own integration with the Dialogflow CX agent by using this webhook feature. And it works somewhat similar to the standard, like how you would imagine the webhook feature would work, where you have to register a URL with the Zobot, and it will send the user's message to that URL. And the URL is basically some code running on some server somewhere, which takes that user message and sends it to Dialogflow CX through the API exposed by the Dialogflow CX, gets the response, and then it returns that response in a specific format as a response to the call, and that will be rendered inside the Zoho SalesIQ chat widget. And I think that the response has to come back within a certain amount of time. So that's the sixth type of Zobot. The thing here is the webhook call that you're making, that is the code in the webhook, is using an existing NLU API, right? The last type is where you use the same webhook, but instead of using a cloud-based chatbot framework, you just combine it with some kind of an on-premise NLU, like Rasa NLU chatbot framework. And this way, of course, the big difference here is that all the code in the webhook is responsible for the intent identification and things like that. And of course, if you're not familiar with RASA NLU, there's a couple of reasons why people use it. Two primary reasons, I think, is the first is that they have some sensitive information about their business which they don't even want to send to Google or the other cloud providers, and they just want to keep it completely on premise, and that's a good use case for using the RASA NLU chatbot framework. And then there's a second reason where there is some special custom NLU task that you have to do, and that's something that you just cannot do with the framework like Dialogflow. There are not a lot of things like that, but I think that there are some cases where this does make sense. And in those situations, you will use the RASA NLU chatbot framework. So I would say this is the seventh type of chatbot where you use the webhook integration, but you are using on-premise NLU instead of using some kind of a chatbot API. So these are the 7 types of chatbots that you can build with Zoho SalesIQ, and as you can see, that's quite a lot, and you can, because of the versatility of this Zoho SalesIQ platform, you are able to build all these kind of chatbots using just this one Zoho, I guess, subscription, right? So what I've done is, after I listed these 7 types in this article, I also provide like a comparison chart between like the different type of capabilities of these 7 types of bots. So you can also go and check out this article. I will leave a link below the video, and you can go and check out this article once you are finished watching the video. So those are the 7 types of Zoho SalesIQ chatbots, and I think that the thing that I've been telling people who have been watching my videos is that Zoho SalesIQ provides something very unique in the world of website chatbots, and I do wish that more people would check them out.